Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mentally Business Live. I am your host, Kamisha Brewer Dickerson, and today is episode number 92. We are officially on the countdown to our 100th episode and the official launch of our podcast. And today we are talking about Vision Weekend. I'm going to be sharing some things that I did over the weekend. I had a new experience. I met some new people at a really cool event, and I want to tell you about that. But before we get into that, I need to tell you guys who I am and what I do because I know many of you guys are new. I'm a licensed professional counselor practicing here in the state of Arkansas. I am a business coach for new therapists. I teach them how to set up, structure, and market their private practice without relying on directories or paid ads. I teach therapists how to do this using relationship based marketing as their most effective strategy. I am a professional speaker. I have spoken over 300 times. I am an author of the book Thought Life Confessions. And if you don't have it yet, it is available on my website, cbrewerconsulting.com. So let's get into the content for today. I attended a 3-day conference. So I took off work Thursday and Friday. And of course, I was off on Saturday. And it was, a very long conference. I think we were there like 10 or 12 hours a day, but it didn't feel like that because there were just so many amazing people. But the conference it was for speakers and it was teaching us, just the behind the scenes of what it takes to really be successful in the speaking industry and how to leverage our relationships and our connections. And I felt so refreshed and so inspired. It was so well put together. Shout out to everyone that I met there. And it was just really, really good. And I'm thankful for that. But I wanted to tell you guys about how I approach these type of weekends and why I do them in the fourth quarter. So for those of you guys who are still pretty new to who I am as a person and to my business and to my brand, in the fourth quarter of the year, I try to downshift on like hustle, work hard mode, taking all the meetings, doing all the things. I try to go a little bit slower, which is still pretty high paced, just because that's my personality, that's my work ethic. Like I'm a go getter type of person. But in the fourth quarter, I love the fall. I love watching, the leaves change colors. The weather's really nice here in Arkansas. It's usually like blazing hot and humid most of the year here. So whenever we get that sweet spot where the weather is between like 60 and 75 degrees, with much lower humidity, like you can breathe when you go outside. I really enjoy that. And I enjoy just everything that comes with it, all the fall candles and the scents and the clothes and the shopping. Like I am a fall kind of girl. I am so ready to put out my pumpkins and hay pumpkin pillows, like that kind of thing. That's me. But I enjoy downshifting because in that downshift, it helps me to establish vision for the entire next year. So I tend to also attract a lot of new entrepreneurs and people who want to get started in business and they wait until January to start planning for the year that they're in. And I have found over the years that that is very ineffective and it's better to get a at least 90-day jump start on the upcoming year by at minimum starting in that fourth quarter of the year, just because sometimes it takes you time to learn things. It takes you time to get a full understanding of what it's going to take to carry out those goals. And sometimes you need, a 90-day rollout if you're launching something, especially if it's something new and you're not sure about all of the moving parts. And if you need help doing this thing, whatever the thing is, one of the things we did in my company this year is we brought on 3 people actually total, like, throughout the year. This was the year I was like, "I need help," because I know where I'm going, I know what I'm trying to do, and before I get there, I want to start onboarding team members, getting them trained, working out the kinks, getting to know them, first of all, because I'm a relational person. I wanted to get to know who they are at their core, what they're good at, what they want to do outside of my company, what their personal goals are, what their professional goals are. Are there any relationships that we can leverage, any skills that we can leverage for them to help them to grow and excel? Because I want every person on my team to also be successful. I don't want to be, just the most successful person on the team. I know that this is a group effort, it's a team effort. We move as a unit for the goals of this company and to help new and emerging leaders, like to teach them how to mentally do business by starting with the business of their personal lives. But I knew I needed a team. I knew it was going to take me time to get them trained, get them acclimated to my company, get them acclimated to my personality style and my leadership style. And I wanted to give them time for that. And I knew that, 2023 for Sea Brewer Consulting is going to be a fast paced year. We have big goals, we have big transitions. My husband and our family, like we're in the middle of another transition as well. And we've got two big transitions that are coming, and we know that. And so I wanted to make sure that my business was prepared, my team was prepared, in case I needed to step away or at least not do as much or be as hands on in the company as I have been in the past. Like I wanted everyone to be prepared for that, myself included, because I've never had a team before in my own company. It's really exciting. I've never been in this position where I have to be mindful of everyone's schedules. I have to put everything on everyone's calendars, the things that I need them to do, their tasks, setting deadlines. So it stretched me just in terms of my vision for doing research about what software systems and tools do we need as a team to run this company at this size with the goals that we have and stay within the budget that we have for operations, and to make sure, my team gets paid. They love me, they love what we do, they're very passionate about the work that we do, they're motivated, very inspired. However, they have bills and I'm aware of that, and I want to make sure that they are compensated. And so my job is, to make sure that we have the revenue we need to operate, which is what I do. Like that's my role. But as a part of the vision this year has been stretching me to think differently, because now I'm not thinking about, okay, what can I do to generate revenue? Now I'm thinking about, team member A, what can she do to also generate revenue within her knowledge, within her skill set, within her expertise that feels aligned to her, that will also stretch her, right? I'm all about challenging people to meet their goals, but in that stretch to make sure that all that aligns with the vision for the company. And so, in order to do that, I have had to sit down. I'm old school. So, I love tech, I love software, and I love, brainstorming and whiteboarding things and all that, but I'm also pen and paper kind of girl too. I've got several whiteboards in my office where I'm just kind of strategizing, trying to map out things and schedule dates. And one of the things I got a chance to do this year in preparation for next year is to just schedule out training dates, not for just me and like my license as a therapist. Like I'm going to get my continuing education hours as usual, but now I get to explore options for my team to also be trained, or for my team to also be exposed to some of the things that I've been exposed to through going to events or conferences, because I need them to see what I see, so that when I say certain things to them, the language makes sense, the culture makes sense, the look and the aesthetic of the brand and it being visually appealing, that makes sense, because I can't hand them my eyes. I wish I could, but I can't. And so they see, our company and our brand through their own lens. So I have to put the lens that I'm seeing it through in the most tangible form possible. I have to try to put that in front of them, or at least expose them to the lens that I am also looking at. So we are all looking at the company through the same lens, so that our vision does align. And I'm not trying to teach them something they've never seen before, they've never heard before, they've never been exposed to it before. So logically, they hear me and it makes sense. But sometimes when people are explaining something to you, you really don't know. If you've never been to a certain country and been right in the middle and fully immersed in that country's culture and the food and the language, the music and the dress code and the religions, the way the streets look, the way the sun sets, if you're not in it, you don't fully understand what that means. It's like, oh, that's beautiful. Okay, that's really general, but did you fully experience that? And so my vision has shifted in terms of the way I teach vision, the way I explain vision, the way I communicate it to my team, because I want them to be able to see what I see. And I can't give them my eyes. So I have to put them in positions to be able to see as close to what I can see as possible. And that has been refreshing to every part of my being, to just know that I get an opportunity to be more than an entrepreneur. I get to lead a team. I get to be an inspiration. I get to be a leader, but to actually support my team in the things that they have going on. And so vision weekends are crucial for me. I feel like I kind of want to do a vision weekend at least at least quarterly next year for sure. And then from there, plan out some more vision weekends where I can do them monthly because I think they're needed. Like the vision that I have now, I'm recording this on a Sunday, like going into the work week is insane. But it's because of that 3-day conference and that 3-day experience where I got to meet new people from different parts of the world and learn their stories, learn about their business, learn about the speaking that they've done and how they have been able to share their stories and really inspire people and empower people. And it has been amazing. So I wanted to share this with you guys today, and I highly encourage you to develop your own form of a vision weekend. Even if you don't have all weekend, do a day. We have the time that we create and not the time that it actually says on the clock. So blocking out time for whatever that needs to look like for you. And I think I have we'll go here. This is my platform, right? I have a love-hate relationship with action boards, with vision boards, because I think vision boards should be action boards. I used to teach vision board parties and things like that, and I stopped doing them because I was frustrated with just the lack of action with those vision boards. Where, here in the States, we get the magazines and we cut pictures out, we glue them on a poster board, and we're inspired for the duration of the party. But when the party is over, we don't quite have the execution strategy to go implement the steps and the things that are needed to make things come off the board and come to life. And I think we're doing a disservice to ourselves by just staying in the vision phase. I think vision is beautiful. I think we need it, but immediately after the conference was over last night, I stayed up very late to get a head start on all these fresh ideas that were floating around in my head. So I'm a visual learner, so I immediately, had to get in my notes and my Google and start scheduling things, start putting things on the calendar, start assigning tasks to my team, setting up calls and meetings to my team so I could explain the vision that I now have and the different direction that we now need to go in order to be more intentional and to be more mindful of the things that we're doing within our company. And Vision did that. Vision birthed that. I had already prayed about having a good experience before the conference. I had already prayed about clarity and direction and to be able to think about the way I mentally do business and the way I'm able to create that work life balance, because it's a very intricate dance of work life balance, but it's also balancing the business around my life because, my husband is my priority. Our children, that is my priority. And I will absolutely shut my business down if it is going to be detrimental to my household. But thankfully, it has not. We have been very open and honest. We've communicated well. There are times where I work long hours. There are times where I'm on laptop probation. I can't even be in the office because I need to be present with my husband and to be there. So I definitely believe you can have both. You can have it all. You can have the family, you can have the career, you can have the business, you can have health, you can have good sleep, you can have, good eating habits, you can splurge on a pizza and a cupcake, whatever. I think you can have all of that when you have vision and when you have renewed vision where you get to see beyond what you saw 90 days ago. You get to look at your numbers and your revenue in QuickBooks or whatever it is you're using to track your revenue. You can look at it and see something different. You can see patterns differently. You can see trends. And based on that data and that information that you see, you can make decisions that will move you to the next level of whatever that is for you. Next level doesn't always mean, more money and more freedom and more this and more teams and more this and whatever. Sometimes more means less because you get a chance to create a different pace of life and thrive in that place, and that is also successful. So I hope you guys found value in my vision weekend. Shout out to all the Speak Your Way to Cash family and everybody that I met there. You guys are incredible. I cannot wait to continue to connect with you more. Please make sure you share out this video about a vision weekend, and hopefully it inspires someone. If you have any questions or you would like to connect with me and do business or have me come speak at your next event, go to cbrewerconsulting.com, and I will see you guys in the next episode.